Have you ever noticed something that doesn't quite make sense when you really stop and think about it? At some point in your life, you start earning more than you used to. Not suddenly rich, not dramatically successful, just better than before. Your salary isn't terrible, it's not impressive, but it's reasonable. You're not reckless with money. You don't waste it, you don't live an extravagant lifestyle, you're not buying luxury items or taking expensive trips every month. And yet, despite all of this, saving money still feels impossible. Not difficult, not slow, impossible. At the end of most months, you open your banking app and the number looks almost the same as it did last month. Sometimes it's lower, occasionally it's even negative. And the most confusing part of all is this: nothing feels obviously wrong. There's no single mistake you can point to, no big expense you regret, no moment where you think that's where it all went wrong. Today, this isn't about motivation, it's not about discipline, and it's not about trying harder or being more responsible. This is about understanding why the system you're living in quietly prevents saving money even when your income increases. Imagine a very normal situation, not an extreme one. You're in your mid-20s or early 30s, you live in the United States or somewhere in Europe, you have a stable job, nothing flashy, nothing exciting, just steady. Your salary looks decent on paper, maybe around $65,000 a year in the US or roughly 45,000 euros in Europe. When people hear that number, they usually think you're doing fine, comfortable even. And that's where the illusion begins. Because after taxes, healthcare, and social contributions, your real monthly income looks very different. In the US, that $65,000 quietly turns into something closer to $3,900 a month. In Europe, that 45,000 euros becomes about 2,700 euros. This is the first quiet problem most people never really process. In your head, you're still thinking in gross salary terms, but life doesn't charge you in gross numbers. Life charges you in net reality. The first thing that shows up is rent or a mortgage. A normal apartment, nothing luxurious, nothing fancy, just a place to live. In the US, that might be $1,400 to $1,800. In Europe, it might be 900 to 1,200 euros. And just like that, more than 40% of your take-home income is gone. Not spent on something optional, not wasted, just gone. Then comes transportation, a car payment, insurance, fuel, and maintenance, or public transit passes if you don't own a car. Either way, it adds up. $400 to $700 in the US, 250 to 400 euros in Europe. Then come utilities, internet, phone bills, and healthcare costs. Another few hundred disappears before you've even thought about groceries, social life, and enjoying your time. And then we reach the part nobody likes to think about: debt. Student loans, credit cards, buy now, pay later plans. Not because you were irresponsible, but because this is how modern life works. Education costs money, emergencies cost money, even existing costs money. Student loans might quietly take $200 a month. Credit card minimums take another $100. Subscriptions and digital services drain $200 more without ever feeling dramatic. Individually, these expenses seem harmless. Together, they are heavy. Now let's slow down and actually do the math. From $3,900 after housing, transportation, debt, and basic essentials, you're left with maybe $400 to $600. In Europe, maybe 250 to 400 euros. This is the part of your income where saving is supposed to happen. This is the money financial advice tells you to optimize. But this is also where life finally begins. This is the money that absorbs birthdays, social plans, clothing replacements, small trips, and unexpected expenses. This money isn't extra, it isn't surplus, it's pressure money. It exists to protect you from friction, and it disappears quickly. Here's the mistake most people make without ever realizing it. They try to save from the most fragile part of their income. Saving advice often assumes that income rises faster than life costs. That assumption used to be true, it isn't anymore. Housing costs rose faster than wages. Education costs rose faster than inflation. Healthcare costs rose faster than productivity. Salaries did not. This isn't a personal failure, it's a system mismatch. And your brain understands this, even if you never consciously think about it. When effort doesn't produce visible progress, the brain adapts, not emotionally, logically. It quietly decides that this system isn't working,
so it stops prioritizing saving. Not because you're weak, but because humans don't invest energy into systems that feel unrewarding. This is exactly why guilt-based financial advice never works. Shame shuts learning down. People don't fix systems when they feel judged. They disengage instead. They stop paying attention. They stop trying. The long-term cost of ignoring this reality is subtle but serious. You keep optimizing the wrong layer. You earn more over time, but you don't feel safer. You don't feel calmer. You don't feel ahead. Even as income increases, the structure stays the same. Financially intelligent people think differently. They don't obsess over saving tricks. They think in systems. They pay attention to which costs permanently control their future cash flow. Housing, transportation, debt duration. They reduce fixed pressure instead of cutting small joys. They prioritize flexibility over appearance and long-term stability over short-term comfort. Saving is not a moral test. It's a side effect of breathing room. And breathing room comes from structure, not willpower. If saving feels impossible right now, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means your system is tight, and tight systems don't need guilt. They need clarity. Awareness is the first form of financial intelligence. If this helped you see your situation more clearly and not more harshly, you can subscribe for more clarity like this. Nothing else.